It's currently 9:33 p.m. Over the past hours since getting back from my dad's parents' place, if I recall, around 1:15 p.m., I've been working on this personal polystyrene drawing project. I use these Sharpie markers to do both tactical gloves. I did this one first, and then this one using the reference image that I found off of Bing Images. I recall working on those two tactical gloves roughly from 2 p.m. to about 6 p.m. as the latest end date for when I finished those two tactical gloves. I'm currently divided as to whether to work on the jacket next or the mask. I'm currently leaning towards the mask, as getting that out of the way would allow me to focus on the biggest part of this project, which is the jacket. And the mask would be relatively simple to do. I'm currently looking for I recall I was going to base off the mask off of a reference image, if I recall. So I'm currently trying to find that reference image based off a video I recall seeing on YouTube months ago. That's what I've been doing for the past hour or so. I recall waking up around 6 in the morning, naturally after setting an alarm for 7 in the morning, going to bed, falling asleep, around 1 in the morning. I went to bed, that is, started trying to fall asleep about 12:30 in the morning. Dad and I left around 7:35 in the morning after I had a cup of plain coffee. To attend a mass at the church that Dad's parents go to. It was good to be there for and my family. The inside of the church is decorated well. And the singing of the hymns was done well. Couldn't really follow along though, since I haven't memorized the lyrics to those hymns, and you can't really sing if you're also trying to listen. For the lyrics. Dad prepared 2 of the leftover Texas Hots, heated them up, along with some fries that he cooked in the oven. Sometime between 2 and 3 p.m., I recall doing a bit of work on this polystyrene drawing project, though that was just because I felt like seeing if this Sharpie marker had the same color as this one. It doesn't quite produce the exact same color ink, but it's close enough that I can use this Sharpie marker to fill in some of the air holes on this polystyrene ball. Same case for these 2, which I used for the green Titleist golf ball that I gave to one of the uncles on Dad's side of the family. During a family gathering at Dad's parents' place that followed the Mass that me, Dad, and his parents attended, sitting in a pew that was pretty close to the front. Pretty close to the church elders, I think they're technically called. That performed the Mass. For which I tried my best to follow along. With what everyone was doing. Though generally I just said stuff internally unless I knew what to say or sing for sure based off of hearing others. I recall the masses being from 8 to 9 in the morning. The family gathering lasted roughly from 9:15 in the morning, if you count the time me, Dad, and his parents were at Dad's parents' place. Around that time, a loaf of banana bread that I believe Dad's mom made was shared between the four of us. Me, Dad, and his parents. And I also had some coffee. I recall having 3-ish cups of plain coffee in total. During the whole family gathering. Which lasted till about 1:15 p.m. But didn't really start until somewhere between 10 and 11 in the morning. which was around the time that some of the uncles, aunts, and cousins, from my point of view on Dad's side of the family, came over. When we left to attend the Mass today, right before we did so, Dad wrapped the 2 golf ball polystyrene drawing projects I did for 2 different members on Dad's side of the family. First his dad, and then one of his brothers. He wrapped those 2 small polystyrene balls, the size of this one, in essentially newspaper advertisements. One advertising gold coins is what Dad used to wrap the playing golf ball. And another advertisement advertising steak, Dad used to wrap the green Titleist golf ball. The one that went to one of Dad's brothers. We brought them over using one of Dad's baseball caps, though doesn't have the team of any baseball team, the logo of any baseball team on it, to make it easier to transport the 2 wrapped polystyrene golf ball drawings, gifts, over ultimately to Dad's parents' place, so I could give those drawings to the people they were intended for Father's Day, and they enjoyed those gifts. I recall they said I did a good job on them. I'm just glad to hear that they liked them. Once everyone had arrived, the food, Dad's mom spent the morning either the morning hours the early morning hours, or maybe partially when we got back from the Mass, was served. I ended up eating pretty much just pastries, desserts. Pretty much what was pictured, and then an apple slice. As I didn't feel like having any of the eggs. Since they came with a bunch of vegetables instead of something like either home fries or something similar to that. After we ate, I recall roughly from 12:15 p.m., possibly a little earlier, to about 1:15 p.m. or so, everyone went outside to the backyard of Dad's parents' place. First to take some photos of the family, for which I sat in a outdoor chair to the right of Dad's dad. And then everyone enjoyed being outside, for which I mostly sat with Dad and some members of his family, but I also spent some time playing with a football, throwing it and kicking it, and also a bit of catching it, as some other members of Dad's side of the family started playing with one or two footballs before I decided at some point to join in. Dad said I did a good job kicking, though not every kick was a sure hit. There were some dud kicks, but that's perfectly fine. We all had a good time. We didn't really play gridiron football or anything like that. It was kind of just playing around with a football, kicking, catching, and throwing. That sort of thing. Today was generally a partially cloudy but still sunny day. It currently feels room temperature. Generally throughout today it's been just slightly above room temperature, where it felt warm, but I didn't really break out in a sweat at any point. So generally today was a comfortable summer day.